Hey everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Have you ever seen those big scary headlines online? The ones that say something like, "Breaking news, Yellowstone is about to blow." It sounds pretty terrifying, right? You might imagine giant explosions and the whole world changing. Well, today we're going to talk about what's really happening at Yellowstone, and I promise it's way more interesting and a lot less scary than those headlines make it sound. So first things first, what exactly is Yellowstone? Most people know it as a huge, beautiful national park in the United States, famous for its amazing wildlife like bears and bison, and especially for its geysers, like the famous Old Faithful that shoots hot water high into the air. But underneath all that beauty lies something incredible, a supervolcano. Now, the word supervolcano sounds like something out of a superhero movie, but all it really means is that it's a volcano that has had an eruption of magnitude 8 in the past, which is the biggest kind of eruption we know of. Think of it like this. A regular volcano is like a soda can you shake up and pop open. A supervolcano is like a giant soda bottle that's been shaken for a very, very long time. The explosion is much, much bigger. The last time Yellowstone had one of these super eruptions was a super long time ago, about 640,000 years ago. That's way before any humans were writing history books, before the pyramids were built, even before woolly mammoths went extinct. So, when scientists say Yellowstone is active, they don't mean it's about to erupt tomorrow. They mean it's alive. Imagine Yellowstone is like a big sleeping giant. Even when a giant is sleeping, it still breathes. It might snore or twitch or roll over in its sleep. That's what's happening at Yellowstone. The signs of life that you read about are just the volcano breathing. These signs include things like small earthquakes, the ground rising and falling ever so slightly, and changes in the geysers and hot springs. Let's break those down. First, earthquakes. Yellowstone has thousands of small earthquakes every single year. Most of them are so tiny that you wouldn't even feel them if you were standing right on top of them. These aren't signs of a coming disaster. They're actually a sign that the system is letting off steam, literally. The ground underneath Yellowstone is full of cracks and faults. As hot water and gases move around, they push on these rocks, causing them to shift and create these tiny tremors. It's like the plumbing system of a giant house groaning and creaking, which is totally normal. Then there's the ground swelling and sinking. This sounds dramatic, but we're talking about changes of just a few inches over several years. This happens because deep beneath the park there's a huge chamber of magma, which is hot melted rock. Sometimes a bit more magma flows into this chamber from even deeper within the earth, causing the ground above it to bulge up like a balloon being slowly inflated. Other times, as the magma cools or moves, the ground can sink back down. Scientists have amazing GPS tools that can measure these tiny movements. It is a bit like watching a giant's chest rise and fall as it breathes in and out very, very slowly. And what about the geysers? Yellowstone is famous for them. These are created when underground water gets heated up by the magma below. The pressure builds and builds until, whoosh, it shoots out of the ground. Sometimes a new geyser might appear, or an old one might stop. For example, Steamboat Geyser, the world's tallest active geyser, which was quiet for years, suddenly became very active again recently. Scientists see this not as a warning, but as a fascinating puzzle. It's like the volcano's plumbing system is rerouting itself. Maybe an underground pipe got clogged or a new one opened up. This is just part of the normal dynamic life of the park. So, when a headline says unprecedented signs of life, what does it really mean? Usually it means scientists have observed something they haven't seen before, like a swarm of earthquakes in a new spot, or the ground moving slightly faster than usual. But unprecedented doesn't mean dangerous. For scientists, it's an exciting opportunity to learn more about how this incredible natural wonder works. They are like detectives, constantly gathering clues to understand the giant sleeping beneath the park. The Yellowstone Volcano Observatory is a team of dedicated scientists who watch Yellowstone 24/7. They have seismometers to detect earthquakes, GPS stations to measure ground movement, and sensors to check on gas and water temperatures. They are the world's best volcano doctors, giving the supervolcano a constant health checkup. And their official verdict? Yellowstone is behaving normally for an active volcanic system. There are no signs, zero, that a super-eruption is going to happen anytime soon. Soon, in geological terms, could mean thousands of years from now. In fact, the most likely thing to happen at Yellowstone isn't a super-eruption at all. It's a much smaller hydrothermal explosion, or a lava flow. A hydrothermal explosion is like a geyser on steroids, a localized steam explosion. While dangerous if you're standing next to it, it wouldn't affect the whole country. A lava flow would also be a relatively slow, localized event within the park. These have happened dozens of times since the last super-eruption, and they are far more common. So why do these scary headlines exist? Well, fear gets clicks. A headline that says, "Scientists observe minor changes in Yellowstone's normal activity," isn't as exciting as supervolcano apocalypse imminent. But it's our job to be smarter than the headlines. Instead of panicking, we can get curious. We can learn about the amazing science of geology and how our planet is a living, breathing thing. Yellowstone isn't a ticking time bomb. It's a breathtaking natural laboratory. The signs of life are what make it so special. They power the geysers, create the colorful hot springs, and shape the incredible landscape. It's a reminder that the Earth is a powerful and dynamic place, constantly changing and evolving. The work scientists do there helps us understand not just Yellowstone, but other volcanoes around the world, which helps keep people safe. So, the next time you see a scary article about Yellowstone, take a deep breath. Remember the sleeping giant, just snoring and shifting in its sleep. The real story isn't about an impending disaster, it's about the incredible living science happening right beneath our feet. It's a world of wonder, not a world of worry. Thank you so much for joining me today to uncover the truth behind the headlines. I hope this cleared things up and made you feel more fascinated than fearful about Yellowstone. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more cool science facts, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our next adventure. Stay curious, and see you next time.